in South Windward will continue to send a message to the NDP that South Windward is ULP and will continue to be ULP. Let me hear you. Let me hear you.
And every time I knock on me neighbor door,
somebody say Labour. Comrades, we are here tonight on these grounds. Popular grounds for the Unity Labour Party. Sir Vincent Beach won this seat in 1994. And the ULP has continued to keep the seat during all these times. We've had Sir Vincent Beach, you had Glen Beach, you had your humble servant, and tonight we are on this platform because we are going to give the ULP candidate for South Windward, Darren Rodon John, an outstanding victory come the next elections on November 27th. We now turn back.
Keep the fire burning, keep the fire burning, burn down with your vote on election day.
Comrades, we have here tonight, I'm looking for a gentleman, Mr. Oh. Yes, well, we have everybody. We have everybody here. Labour! Labour! Come DJ, give me something.
Labour people, hear this. When my pencil mark the exits for Labour, for who? Labour. Everybody, mother. Labour of the workers live up. Mother. Government of the workers live. Everybody, every Labour man and woman, show me all your hand. If you're ready for election, show me every hand. Every Labour man and woman, show me all your hand.
Comrades, this constituency of South Windward is a very fortunate constituency. We used to drive around the old Argyle Road by the seaside and pick grapes and fat pokes. We stopped at Corner Rock and we fishing down the road there by Bona. Some people throw nets and they still do catch treachery down at Argyle River. But this constituency provided for the government, the Unity Labour Party government, the available lands for the building of the largest capital project in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Argyle International Airport. And we have to be proud.
All the neighbors shouting, Labour, Labour working for we. Labour working for we.
And I know several young persons from this Peruvian Vale community, are working down there at Argyle in whatever and varying fields. The Argyle International Airport is working for us here in South Windward. Comrades, on the platform here tonight, we have with us the Minister of Education. Used to be the Minister of Education, and now the Minister of Health, Sinclair Jimmy Prince. Put your hands together and welcome Jimmy. Give Jimmy a big South Windward welcome.
Yes, it's Labour again.
For those of you who are young, I know you're going to talk this thing a little later, but I'm talking it first. Mariquah used to be a part of South Windward. Mariquah used to be a part of South Windward. So Jimmy is part of South Windward. We have with us Comrade, Sister Ashel Morgan, put your hands together and make some noise for Ashel. We have on this platform tonight our good friend and brother, Comrade Louis Daisley. And we also have on this platform tonight a South Windward man who lives in Kingston, but is a Bible man. You all know him. Make some noise for Comrade Elvis Charles. Comrades, and I am your master of ceremonies, Augustus Frederick Stevenson. Put your hands together and make some noise for me now. Make some noise for me. Make some noise. Make some noise. Comrades, later on we expect the Honorable Prime Minister to pass through. And we also have a couple of guest artists who will be performing here tonight and bring greetings and big up South Windward, big up Peruvian Vale. And so, as we proceed tonight, our first speaker, he has to leave us in a little while from now, but he's going to spend an hour with us. Jimmy is going to talk. And you know that just last Sunday night we launched the manifesto. And there are a number of areas inside of it which Peruvian Vale and South Windward would be advanced in the next 5 years. And I saw an article on Facebook, one of their reels and so on, saying that they have not done anything about these manifestos. They have so much things they ain't do yet. But a manifesto does not end. A manifesto is a continuing program of policies and programs that a government or a party puts together in front of the people and to say these are what we're going to do. You can't get everything done in 5 years, so you have to roll them over and roll them over and roll them over until we get them done. Rome was not built in a day, comrades.
Too far to turn back now. Too far to...
And tonight, I want to give you the Minister of Health, the Honorable Sinclair Jimmy Prince. Put your hands together, blow your horns, and make some noise as you welcome Jimmy to the podium.
Red blood in repair.
Good night.
Put your hearts in the air. Yesterday was labor, today's labor. So we say labor. Yesterday was labor, today's labor. So then tomorrow, then tomorrow, we shouting labor. Forever red we say, forever labor. Forever red we say, forever labor. Forever red we say, forever labor. Forever red we say. So now we jump up, jump up, jump up.
Comrades and friends, I'm opening the batting because I have to join Comrade Curtis King in Daphne very, very soon. But I'd like to say to you tonight that I'm very, very happy that so many of you have come out to this particular meeting. I'm impressed with the way Peruvian Vale has responded to the message of the Unity Labour Party. And you deserve commendation. As Comrade Gustus said, you have always been in the fold of the Unity Labour Party, just like Mariaqua. And I bring you greetings from that. I bring you solidarity from that constituency, particularly to our colleague, Rodan John, an excellent candidate and one who represents the youthful nature of the ULP in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Comrades, recently, a set of busybodies must have been coming around to your houses telling you about the failings, or what they call the failings, of the ULP. And when they talk to you, they never tell you what their solutions are. And that is because they have no plan for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. You know that the NDP never came to you and said, this is how we're going to solve whatever problems we see in the country. Every time they talk to you, they're cussing about something, telling some kind of lies, falsehoods, and comments. That is their modus operandi. They have no other way of approaching Vincentians because they have no plan for Vincentians.
Keep them out, keep them out. They ain't have no plan, keep them in the opposition.
But I'll tell you this, they really want this election. They really want it bad because they realize that if they don't win this election, it's the last train for San Fernando and they would have missed it. And not them alone, you know. There are people outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines who want this election because they want to buy out St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is no accident that some of the NDP operatives are saying that they're going to privatize the hospital, they're going to privatize the new port, they're going to privatize the airport. But there are people they have lined up to make money off of these state assets. So the campaign which you are seeing from the NDP is not a campaign in the interest of Vincentians. It's a campaign for their own self-interest. They want to put their hands on St. Vincent and the Grenadines because we are a prime asset at this time. The main thing, though, is passport. There's a lot of money in selling passport. The NDP is agreeable to that. They want to go around the world with a knapsack on their back. Passport for sale. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, passport for sale. Compromising our sovereignty. Watering down our citizenship. And put us in monkey pants as far as the European Union and North America are concerned. You have heard from the Prime Minister sometime, well, maybe yesterday, that the European Union is saying now that because of this CIP, or the selling of passports, they may very well trigger the mechanism which gives them the opportunity or the authority to start asking you for visas to go into the Schengen area, that is United Kingdom and other parts of Europe. Right now, we need no visa for that. But they are saying now that this passport selling is becoming a problem for Europe and North America. And we will have to start asking people who are selling passports to get a visa to come to the United States or to go to Europe. And that is going to be a problem for St. Vincent and the Grenadines if we sold passports. That is why we don't want the NDP to win these elections. That's one of the reasons. So they're selling passport, and they're telling you at the same time that every problem we have in St. Vincent and the Grenadines can be solved by selling passports. You want to raise salaries? We can sell passports for that. You want to move VAT? Passports for that. Education? Passports for that. But recently, they have been changing the narrative. When last you hear them push for this passport thing, they're keeping it undercover because their handlers in Britain are telling them that, listen, it seems that the Vincentian people are not yet ready for that, so don't put that to the forefront anymore. When we win, we're back to selling passports. Yeah. They are being handled outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Why is that so? There are people who who are steeped in this thing, who really want St. Vincent and the Grenadines to go back to where we were in 2001.
They never want to see we strive, so them set all bad road in our life.
So they can't tell you about selling passports. And they have nothing else to tell you about education or health or housing or the economy generally. So they start talking another tune now. They start to talk comments now. Who have house in Trinidad? This and that, all kind of things. You know, from one place to the next. Because they have nothing else to tell you. We have a manifesto here with all our plans in it, you know. And we have been talking about these plans for a long time. Up to now, they can't bring one, you know. What they may do, they may sneak it in under the cover of night closer to the elections. Because right now, they cannot come to you and say, these are our plans for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Comrades, let me tell you this. These days, we are deep into the 21st century. There are a lot of things we are encountering which we did not encounter 50 years ago. Climate change is one. It is very important. You see what's happening in the region now with Category 5 hurricanes, devastating whole communities. We have evidence here in Kanawan, Myro, and Union when Beryl ran through St. Vincent and the Grenadines and destroyed these islands. Climate change is a reality that we have to deal with. You need a government who understands that. You need a steady hand on the tiller here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the ULP is providing that. The geopolitics of the region. All of a sudden you have rumors of wars in the region. We want a zone of peace. But you can't have a lackluster government under the NDP dealing with these issues. Do you think that the NDP would have been able to pull St. Vincent out of the special period we have over the last 5 years of hurricane and eruption last Soufrière, a pandemic where we didn't close down the country at all, but we came out of it with flying colors? It is because of the stability provided by the ULP government here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Only never shouting, never working for we.
I'm trying to tell you here, brothers and sisters of South Windward, that the government of St. Vincent, run by the ULP government, by the ULP party, is a steady government. A government centered on people's interests. Anything we do, it is the interest of people. The education revolution is in the interest of people, poor people. I hear Brother Saboto say the other day, in his constituency, there is one doctor per village. And all of those became doctors under the education revolution. All the doctors in North Leeward are people from North Leeward. And they became professionals under this administration. Once upon a time, it wasn't so. You went to a doctor and you couldn't pronounce his name, he couldn't pronounce yours. He come from halfway around the world. Nowadays, you go doctor. Is your neighbor Pickney who dealing with you? A lie? Yeah? It's somebody who you know. If you ain't know them, you know the family. Because out of the bowels of the working people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines are coming people of substance now. We don't have to look overseas for them. They are right here. The potential has always been here. It took a ULP government to unearth that and to realize that through the education revolution.
Me and my neighbor, voting for Labour.
But the NDP is not talking about that. They're not saying that they will do anything for education, to continue to develop people. Because any country in the world which has reached anywhere has had to do so through education. You have to educate the people. Otherwise, you will not be able to deal with your environment, whether it be natural or otherwise. And that is why we are making it affordable. 3,000 scholarships were given to Vincentian students, young people, in the last going around there. That's about a couple of months ago. 3,000. And I'm sure, I think, I heard Darren say in his constituency of South Windward, you had 160. 160 people from South Windward are getting free education at a tertiary level here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Stand up! Hey,
You imagine that? I want you to compare it with what happened before this government took over. 1 and 2 scholarships. And you have to know somebody to get it. Yeah? You have to pull a string. No, those days, if you had a university degree, it was a big deal. The whole country knew you. Nowadays, everybody has one. Everybody. Nobody can make style on anybody anymore. Because it is a right and not a privilege to be educated. So when they talk about change, tell them you know what change is. Because you can make a comparison between what happened before 2001 and now. That is one way in which we have changed people. That is one way in which we have changed the mindset of intentions. Then there's another revolution, health. There was a time when for you to get a particular treatment, you had to travel to Barbados or Trinidad. People had to have bake sale and sponsored walk, etc. to afford health care overseas. Nowadays, we have all kinds of specialties here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. All kinds. Heart surgery, kidney, all kind of things. Eye surgeries. And I just mentioned kidney. You know right now, we have 72 people on dialysis at the Georgetown Modern Hospital. 72. Otherwise, they would have had to go away, pay hotel, to get treatment 3 times a week. So a lot of people couldn't afford that. So a lot of people died prematurely. Now, you can go up to Georgetown and get it free of charge. I wonder if you understand what I'm talking to you about. Free of charge.
Dreams of brighter days.
We have polyclinics at Stubbs, at Mespo, at Bucament, 24 hours. Each of these polyclinics has its own ambulance. You remember when you only had 2 ambulances? You have choices now of health centers throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You have an MRI machine that cost us $10 million at Georgetown. We have a hyperbaric chamber in Kingstown that deals with the bends, people who go to dive and so on. So that is change. So when they talk about change, we are the change. Another difference between us and the NDP. We come to you with a message of empowerment, a message of development, a message of progress. When we talk to you, that is what we talk to you about. How you can improve yourself and improve your country. When they talk to you, it's a set of foolishness. That's all lies. Things that don't happen. Things that can't happen. Promises that half-baked. Like, okay, $500 if you get pregnant. That's what they come to you with. You know? A big country in 2025. When I say a big country, I mean a whole country. These are the things they come to you about. And that they will remove VAT on certain things. VAT never depend them. And the people real? What kind of people are they? And they're coming out to talk to you, to vote for them. Vote for them for what? You can't vote for them if you don't know what they want to do, or what they're going to do, or what they're qualified to do. They're not looking at your problems. They're looking at theirs. They want to get into power. And they say, and do anything to get into power. And they're so foolish. Like they go to Maricoa and telling Mespo people nothing was done in Maracua for 5 years. You're talking to the same people who walking on new roads, you know. So you have to laugh at them. The NDP, I never seen an organization like that in my life. They have time. They've been in opposition for 25 years. You mean they couldn't come up with a plan for St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 25 years? They can't sit down together and say, listen, we're concerned about these people. Let's see what we can do. But every time we do something for the people, they're against it. They oppose the education revolution. They oppose the modern medical at Georgetown. They oppose the airport right here in South Windward. They oppose the port. Everything that we do for people, they oppose it. We have home health for the elderly, they oppose that. We have Set and Yes program for the young people, they oppose that. What do they want? They're not interested in Vincentian's progress.
Keep them out, keep them out. They ain't have no plan, keep them in the opposition.
That is why we can't vote for them. If we vote for them and we put them into power, we are going to regret it. And you'll have to wait 4 years to get rid of them. We cannot afford the NDP. Not in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not at this time. That is why I'm advocating for you to vote for Darren in the next elections. Because the platform of the Unity Labour Party has quality like Darren, substance like Darren. The entire platform of the ULP. We have youth, we have women, we have competence, we have experience. You see it for yourselves. We are coming from no under carpet to talk to you about governance. You've seen us operate over the last 24 hours, and we have always operated in the interest of people. We've done so much that some people are saying we spoil people. You ever hear that? Yes, they say so. But we first of all think about people and people's empowerment and people's development when we set policies, projects, and programs. And you've heard, especially from the Prime Minister and other speakers, what we intend to do with St. Vincent and the Grenadines in the next 5 years. You check this and you will see. You will see how we intend to transform Kingstown, how we intend to develop a new city at Annesville, what we intend to do about housing. The NDP never built a house in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you know. Never. We have built hundreds of houses here in this country. And in addition to that, we have allowed the bank to give 100% mortgage to people who can afford to do that. So when you see a lot of houses going up all over St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's because of the policies of the government. Apart from the fact that we have been repairing houses all over this country, and we will continue to do so. So those of you whose roofs have not been done yet, you have time. We'll get it done. Because this is a caring government. And we have a housing revolution. These are the issues you must ask them about when they come to you with their lies and the comments. Ask them, what do you bring to the table? What do you have for the national table? Tell me that first before you start to run off your mouth on the ULP. That is what we expect them to do. So ladies and gentlemen, you can't stay home on the 27th. You have to go out and mark your X, because you're marking your X in your interest. You're marking your X because of your future. You're voting for yourself. You ain't voting for nobody else but yourself. Your interest is riding on a sixth term. When we come to you for a sixth term, we come to you not empty-handed. We come to you with a record and a vision for the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So your vote on the 27th has to be aligned with that.
For 17 years they ruled this country. They kill all our industry.
So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to commend and recommend Darren John once again. Darren, this is one of our youths. In fact, he's the youngest candidate in the entire election. And you are lucky to have him. You are lucky to have him. We want you to vote for him. Get your auntie and your mommy and everybody else to go to the polling station and endorse Darren John. Let me hear you blow for that, celebrate for that. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
One John Darren, one John. Well, it's election time, when the people just lose their mind. But we voting for Darren John, so Windward we standing strong. Well, it's election time, when the people just lose their mind. But we voting for Darren John, so Windward we standing strong. We're moving together, voting for Labour, fighting together, owning the future.
Let me hear yourself, Jimmy Prince. Thank you very much, Jimmy, for that very inspiring dialogue here with us tonight. Comrades, blow some horn and give Jimmy a welcome and thank you. He leaving us. Thank you very much, Jimmy. Thank you.
Blow horn.